Um, Now I have a question, all right, and this question, you know, is being one of the common questions that I have come across, with many people. Now the question is, uh, do one need to belong to a religious institution in order to be spiritual? Do spirituality has anything to do with religion? No, all right. Spirituality has nothing to do with religion. Before the invention of religion, spirituality is. And what that means is that before we began telling stories, right? Let's say of how life began, maybe creation myth, origin myths, the nature of human interaction. Life was or life is, okay? To simply put, religion is an activity that is based on a set of models and beliefs, all right? And this belief has, they are basically theories of people, all right, about the nature of life, about, maybe existence itself. But then life is, okay? Spirituality, is this very essence of life beyond, all right, the model, the human model, the religious model in which life itself has been viewed. Okay? So it is the essence, all right, the fundamental essence of life itself, completely devoid of society's model or religious models, beliefs, or dogmas. All right? And so, you see, we never needed religion in the first place to begin with, all right, in order to be spiritual. And so all right, spirituality for you is to understand life, all right, by the simplicity in which, it has manifested, and letting that life play out on the basis of understanding. This is your spiritual work as a human being. You do not need to belong to an institution. That must be clear. That must be, established. You do not need religion to walk as a spiritual being that you are. This is an inner work. Okay? It's an inner work. It has nothing to do with external activities. It has nothing to do with group belief or group thinking. All right? But it has everything to do with your inner work, your understanding, your realization, your discovering, personal discovering, personal awakening to the nature of life itself, to the universe. Your awakening to the universe inside of you and walking according to that blueprint. Okay? It has nothing to do with religion, belonging to an institution. As a matter of fact, in most cases, that is a distraction from truly walking as a spiritual being. I know what I'm talking about. Okay? And so, spirituality is beyond these religious models. All right? It is the essence of life. What maybe in mystical traditions, it can be referred to as that pure consciousness. Okay? But this has nothing to do with the traditions of men. It has everything to do with you understanding, life beyond the mythologies in which life has been described, beyond, the stories, that has attempted to give a narrative, to life. Okay? Beyond all of that, I always say that you are the actual, all right? You are the actual of all allegories. You are the real. You are the reality of all mythologies across all traditions. Okay? And so to understand life is to understand you right now. In this now is to understand you and, functioning out of that understanding, living with your neighbor out of that understanding, okay, operating, from understanding the simplicity by which life has expressed itself, okay. And so this is completely different, from being religious or belonging, to an institution. All right. Now, this is so important because we have many people who continue to get attached, to religion, and they mistake that for spirituality. A lot of times our attachment to religion stem out from the fear of the unknown. And so an average human being is always seeking that sense of security in an institution, in an external God, in an external savior, in an entity, something like that. Okay? But then the moment you begin to understand the place of meat, now I'm not completely discarding the place of meat because meat is so important, all right, in terms of the evolutionary process of human thinking. It helps us to evolve, all right. But the ultimate purpose of meat is to consummate itself in you. You are the actuality. You are the reality. You are the real deal. You are the real thing. Do you understand what I'm saying? You are the truth. Truth is not external. Truth is not without. Truth is within. You are this truth. Okay? And you are to study yourself, okay, in relationships to all of this. But the focal point is to understand you in the context of our life as played out in relationships. Okay? You don't need religion for that. You don't need an institution for that. Do you get what I'm saying? You don't need all of that. It's a distraction to the contemplative life, a distraction to this spiritual work. Okay? It's a distraction to that. You don't need to, you see, that sense of security, nothing to be afraid. You see, fear is always in relation to the unknown. And oftentimes, it is the basis of that is our desires. Our desires, our attachment to time. I mean, this is actually very deep. All right, I can't go into it, in this inquiry at this moment. All right, but know that fear is related to something. All right, and so the fear of the unknown is usually what makes us completely, unheavily attached to the known. And so one believes in an institution because of the model or the belief system such institution has offered to them, all right, in dealing with their insecurities. But then there is no need for all of that. Oh, there is no need for all of that. There is no need for all of that. You see, when you understand life, when you settle down, go within your heart to understand life by how life itself has played out in your surroundings, in your environment, in your relationships, okay, in the universe, there is nothing to be afraid of. I will say the universe is never against you, it is for you. Okay? And so spirituality, or what you may call spiritual work, an authentic spiritual work, is rooted in the foundation of realizing that there is nothing to be afraid of. And so true spirituality do not stem out from an attachment to the known because of the fear of the unknown. No, an authentic spiritual walk stem out from the realization that everything is for everything, and that there is nothing that is against you, and that there is nothing that is, that is to be feared. You see, and so it takes intelligence. It takes it takes being contemplative, to walk spiritually, to open your heart, to allow life in its essential display to flourish, from the space of your understanding. Okay, you do not need religion for that. Okay, you do not need religion for that. And so I really want you to dwell on this. Okay, dwell on this. Learn to go within yourself. Learn to go within yourself. Within yourself. Within yourself. Okay, the faith that is objective, all right, is an illusion. Okay, faith must be subjective. Faith must be an insight into the world of endless possibilities within you, beyond dogmas, beyond belief system. All right? So, look within. All right? This is spirituality, not attending activities here and there, and you think you are being close to God. Somebody say, if you do this, if you belong to this department in your religious institution, it means you are serving God. There is nothing like, serving God through that kind of, scenario. Okay? No. It's just an institution that you are serving, not God. You see? Have an understanding of what God is. And you know that by the time you express your life, all right, in relation to the other in love, that is an expression of true worship in God. All right? Mind me, I didn't say to God because it's not an objectified reality. I said in God. All right? Because we are collectively that one organism. And so when I show love, when I live my life within the context that creates the space for the other, to live and to experience life in the most wonderful way, that is an expression of God, and this is spirituality. All right? I love you, and I hope you understand.